One of our content strategists is really scary because the guy literally sits in a cave and he does nothing else the whole day than analyze successful YouTube concepts for business owners. And that's what we want to look at today. We want to look at how Alex Hormozi built his empire. Because there's a few simple things that he does that anyone that wants to build a YouTube channel for his business should know about. And that is ideation, script structure, and the CTA placement and the funnels that this guy builds. And we're just focusing on YouTube here, right? So I'll not talk about like some other stuff because Alex Hormozi is very resourceful. We could analyze this for hours and days. We want to just focus on YouTube. And what this guy does is genius. So let's first talk about ideation. So the usual way to do ideation, in case you didn't know, is you take a proven format, so something like this, the 7 levels of boxer, right? 7 levels of K-pop, 7 levels of movies, whatever. And so you take this proven format, you adapt the proven format, and then you make it your own, right? So the 7 levels of giving you back 20 years of your life, I guess. But this is the thing. Alex Hormozi takes this concept to the next level. This 7 levels thing to the next level. So he combines formats that are already mainstream in a very clever way. For example, what this guy does is give me 58 seconds and I'll delete your fear of rejections. I got 58 seconds, right? This is also a very, this is an outlier format. But what he did is he took this banger title. If you look for this, give me the time, you will see a lot of titles like this because it's an outlier, okay? But he took this outlier title, but it's very common, right? If it's an outlier, chances are other people have already done it. And then you have stuff like this, right? Which is a thumbnail outlier, but it also is something where this has been done by a lot of people, and then the title is always the same, the 7 levels of whatever. And in this case, the title is even very difficult to adapt to, business owners. So the ultimate solution, he takes a proven title and a trending thumbnail. So he took this thumbnail concept of various levels and he combined it with the title outlier. That's give me a certain amount of time and I will give you some kind of benefit, right? This is extremely intelligent and something that you can adapt extremely easily. You take proven title outliers and you take proven thumbnail outliers and you combine them into one mega outlier. Now, how do you do that? Where do I find proven formats, trending thumbnails, and so on? You go to YouTube, you look at your competitors, you look at business channels in a different niche, so-called cousin outliers, right? These are not your brothers and sisters who are your competitors. These are cousins in some more distant niches. And you can also look at entertainment channels because there's something to learn from entertainment channels. They are there for a reason. And it's very difficult to adapt their outliers, but if you're good, you can get a lot of great inspiration from them. And then you use tools like vidIQ, NextLev, and so on, right? And one comment here is we work with a lot of big players too. So big media companies where literally their goal is just to get hundreds of thousands and millions of views. And I think in our agency work that actually benefits us a lot because we take this stuff that they do in the Champions League and we condense it, we make it easier, and we apply it to business channels. And that has worked extremely well for us in the past. And then we'll look at the type of videos that Alex Hormozi is doing. The first one is conversion focused, and the next one is view focused. So actually, he doesn't just post any videos, but he posts different types. Conversion focused are full courses, like learn email marketing in 39 minutes, right? 425,000 freaking views. Case studies, building a $3 million business for a stranger in 57 minutes. Or tutorials, you don't need ads. He will tell you exactly what you need to know about his strategy there. And then he also created a show that features case studies from a wide range of niches, proving that he can help you no matter your industry while maintaining an engaging show format that keeps it highly engaging. And let me look at this a little bit later when we get to the other side of this amazing Miro board. But then you also have view-focused videos, right? So personality and lifestyle. My full workout with Chris Bumstead, okay? Fame hijacking. So we look at Ryan Reynolds and we look at his marketing strategy because people know Ryan Reynolds. Philosophical. How to win in your 20s. If you're ambitious and in your 20s or 30s, please watch this, right? It's not directly related to what he does in his business. It's philosophical, but it makes a lot of views. And also it makes you like the guy. That's why he does it. Now, let's look at what he does in terms of the script structure, because that is very, very interesting. And that's something you can take from this guy very easily. So, we have the 3-point structure and the strong first phrase, authority, promised outcome. Let's look at the 3-point structure first. You need context lean, scroll stop interjection, and contrarian snapback. What the fuck are we talking about here? Context lean. You should give immediate clarity about the topic and make the viewer lean in by building curiosity and relevance. So what should you do here? Be super clear about what that video is about. Help the viewer self-select, so those interested stay and those not, they can skip. And get them emotionally or intellectually engaged so they lean forward. Next one is scroll stop interjection. The goal here is a pattern interrupt. So something that stuns the viewer and stops them from scrolling. And what you should do here is insert a contrasting word or phrase like but, however, yet. On the other hand, this acts like a stun gun that shocks the brain and resets the attention. It's a setup for the next step, the haymaker moment. And then you have the contrarian snapback. The goal here is to deliver the unexpected twist that flips the initial direction, keeps curiosity high and attention locked in. What to do here is saying something that goes in the opposite direction of the initial lean. Stay on top, so we say stuff like yet on the other hand, and then we say this opposite, right? Stay on topic, but reframe it or reveal a contrarian insight. And then the bigger the twist, the stronger obviously the hook. And we can look at how he applies this here. Very nice. This video might save you 20 years of your life, okay? That is the context lean. Or maybe just 20 years forward. My name is Alex Hormozi and I run acquisition.com, a portfolio of company, blah, 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 a little bit of an introduction. Here's the thing. You don't need to own a company for this to work because you think you need to own a company for this, right? No, you just need to have more dollars than time and want to make a trade. Some of these recommendations could save you up to $20K a year, but you can start as long as you make over $15 an hour. That goes into the opposite direction of what you first might have assumed clicking this video. So he applies those 3 steps. He has a strong first phrase, he creates authority, and he includes a promised outcome. Now, more importantly and more interestingly, what does he do in the body? The body is less important than the hook, right? If we get people through the hook to watch the video, they are there. So it does not need a certain crazy structure. You can apply that, but it's not 100% necessary. But you should keep doing mini hooks and payoffs to keep the curiosity. So each chapter starts with some kind of mini hook, and it has some kind of payoff at the end of the chapter that keeps people watching. And then the body, of course, is more value-based than entertainment-based. In the body, I just want to make sure that people get a lot of value, and personality and what you deliver gains importance, right? Because an intro, if the intro is fully scripted, your personality does not matter and it will not shine. But in the body, when we really start talking, we go into depth, that's where we want to show your personality and we want to show what you can actually deliver. Let's go on to the editing tricks. This is my personal favorite. Two things here. First of all, the list, and secondly, the timeline. Very simple tactic. You say, I have 10 tips. Well, show them on screen, but don't show them on screen. You know, if you show them on screen, people will skip to the one that's interesting for them. People will just like pause and then not watch the whole video. If you do it this way and then you reveal them one by one, this in all our clients' videos really increases retention. Next one is the timeline. So kind of same principle. You have a timeline, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You reveal them one by one to make sure people keep watching the whole thing. Now, let's look at CTAs. Because in the end, it's not just about getting a lot of clicks. No, it's actually much more about how many leads we generate and how much revenue we can make through our YouTube channel. So the CTAs, this is very intelligent by Alex Hormozi. Very intelligent, I must say. Subtle CTA in the middle of the video, stronger CTA at the end of the video. Hormozi has come to a point where CTAs don't actually improve his conversion rate. As he's so famous and has such a cult following, he's more interested in having fewer but cult-like leads than a lot of mid-quality leads. So let me explain that. You should not just have a CTA at the end of the video, because at the end of your video, chances are just like 20%, 30% of people are still watching in the last seconds. So you need to make sure to get this across earlier. Now, you also don't want to hurt your average view duration and your retention curves, because usually when you start like giving an advertisement, the retention curve drops. So what you want to do is you want to have very subtle CTAs in the middle of the video where you like naturally mention whatever the hell you're doing, right? Throughout this video, I've already mentioned that we build YouTube channels for business owners. So that was a subtle CTA of some sort. Now we could make it more specific by saying, look, if you want to have a YouTube channel and all of this stuff that I'm talking about here for Alex Hormozi, you want that implemented for you in a done for you way, well, you should book a call with the link below, right? But let's keep it subtle. That's one thing you do in the middle of the video, and then at the end of the video, you have a stronger CTA. You thank people, okay, and then you tell them to book a call, download a lead magnet, whatever. Now, if you're as famous as Hormozi, you kind of have a problem, and you have a nice problem because everybody knows you, everybody knows what you're selling, so you actually don't even need to place CTAs anymore. Like, they are not going to increase or decrease your conversion rate massively. On the contrary, what will happen for guys like Hormozi, if they spam CTAs in their videos, is they will have a lot of people booking calls or buying entry-level offers that actually should not book and should not buy, you know? So that's a point where actually it becomes annoying for your business, because these people, you don't want to actually have them as customers. And so although he has come to that point, he always appears with branded logos, t-shirts, caps, and so on, because he knows that the people who are considering working with him, they are the people who will, you know, based on whatever is on his cap, acquisition.com or so on, they will Google that, they will like come to his website, and they will figure it out how they can work with him. You know, if he has stronger CTAs, he will attract a lot of people that actually, you know, that actually doesn't want to work with, as plain and simple as that. So for beginners, it's better to have 2 CTAs per video, but if you are Alex Hormozi, then just wear a cap. That's the conclusion here. And funnels and upsells. Lead magnets, free stuff, scarcity. So let's look at what he has here. Get your free personalized $100 million scaling roadmap in under 30 seconds. Where should we email it to? Then you give your email. So when you enter his funnel, he either gets your email with a free lead magnet, and a pop-up message appears asking you to join his private workshop, showing some scarcity and exclusivity in the copy. All right, so he's actually targeting you with two things here. He's not just asking for the standard email and sending you some kind of freebie. No, he's actually also getting you into some kind of in-person workshop, which is like maybe, you know, a few % of the people are interested in this. Most of them will download this, but the few that are interested, they have a direct way to get in through this, and that's genius, right? So you have free stuff like this roadmap, you have scarcity and exclusivity with this little pop-up that shows you, hey, we can go much deeper than this in our workshop. Then obviously email campaigns, you do more upselling, more scarcity, you can have a workshop, and then more exclusive upsells for the chosen ones. So in your head, you already saw dozens of his case studies, different niches, but the outcome is always the same. He makes you win, right? So through this chaos, one big common denominator, you always win with Alex Hormozi. And I guess the most important point of his strategy, and what you should also use, is prove that you can get your viewers a certain outcome, making them enjoy the video too. So you want to show the viewer, hey, I can get you this, you know, it's possible. And one of the very nice ways that he does this, and this is how we tie this back to his content strategy, you know, these case studies and these shows that he's creating. Well, this is a genius masterpiece, because the point of these mini shows is not to entertain you. It is to build his authority and let you know he can make you money no matter the industry. And it's basically a show and a case study at the same time, because he sits down with the one guy, and this guy can be a stranger, but nicely enough, it can also be a very famous guy, right? And then the clicks will be even higher, and he will help him live get to his goal. So it's like a case, at the same time it's a show, because he's sitting there with someone else. The production value is quite high. He has like a nice studio for this, and it shows high authority. It can show his personality. It's quite entertaining because there's back and forth between those two. That's like the ultimate thing. Is this the only ultimate thing you can do? No, of course not. There's like many other formats that combine different levers of content importance and can make you go viral and can make you a lot of money. But this is a very nice one that we like personally. And this is the entire breakdown of Alex Hormozi's YouTube strategy. And I'm sure you can take some notes from that. If you want us to implement this for you, we don't do the whole thing, you know, but we do parts of these things for various clients, right? Obviously, we don't just copy Hormozi, but, you know, when we look at these outlier concepts, that's something we do for a lot of clients when we do their YouTube channels for these intros. This is something we even do for LinkedIn, you know, because we have some clients that we do their LinkedIn for, and some of these learnings you can apply on LinkedIn. And obviously for funnels, same thing, right? When we build funnels, we try to include some of these rules in order to make the conversion rate even higher. And with that, see you. If you want, book a call. If you don't want, that's fine too, you know, because I'll be here again giving free value, and that's it, you know. That's the entire point of this channel. So see you. Bye bye.